G'day and welcome everyone to this week's Rossoneri Roundup. G'day, Shady. How's it going?
All good. Hi, Luke. How are you going? Hi, everyone.
I'm very well. Serie A has finally started after months of waiting.
Yeah, the wait's over.
The
New
wait is
season begins.
over. Unfortunately, our arch enemies won this morning 4-0. Let's hope that we can't read too much into that of what's going to happen for the rest of the season. Yeah. Any big surprises? Not really from the start.
Not really, no. Nah, no. I think Inter are gonna. I don't think they're gonna be title contenders this season. I think it's the instability in general, not necessarily because they lost two key players, but I think it's the instability all over the squad.
Yeah.
I think they might end up like Champions League place or something. They might end up in the top four, but yeah. So nothing in my 2 cents now. Nothing to really to read into.
Yeah. Well, anyway, today we plan on going through our predictions. We'll go through a little bit of a recap of our transfer period so far. Obviously, hopefully we're still planning on a few more players coming in and out. Then we'll talk a bit about the crazy broadcasting deal and the third shirt. So transfers. How would you rate our transfer? If the transfer period ended right now, how would you rate it?
If it ended right now, I'd give it a 6.
Yeah.
If it ended right now before we even announced Pellegrini, I'd give it a 6, 5 or 6.
Okay. So just a pass? It's just passed.
Just a pass for securing a deputy left back and for securing the loans that we had from last season and bringing in Giroud. That will get just a pass for me.
Okay.
If it ended right now.
Yeah, I would have to agree. I would say probably more like a 5, 5.5, just because we haven't signed those key holes, the right winger or the central, the cam. Hopefully that comes in with Adley or whoever. But I think until we sign one of those positions, it's not a good transfer period for me yet. But yeah, obviously in Magnon, who replaced Donnarumma, Ballatore, Giroud, Florenzi, and Pobegga's come back to the club. Any really good deals that you see there? Ones that you're really happy with?
I think it's all generally good business. Yeah, Magnon's a good call. Generally speaking, it's all good business. And I think perhaps we're a bit harsh on the management in a sense but that's only because we had so many issues to address.
Yep.
So we've pretty much addressed everything in the back line. It doesn't in the midfield. We've secured Tonali on a permanent now, and we've brought back Pobegga, although there's talk about him being loaned out if we bring in Bakayoko, which I find idiotic. But I don't think the right wing, to be honest, after signing Florenzi, I think Florenzi was signed as a backup for right wing and right back. So I think it's going to be Sanamakers on the right and then Florenzi just deputizing for him, or the other way around. It seems like Pellegrini seems really close as a third striker, and it seems like the trequartist is what we've got left. So yeah, we did some decent business overall, and we haven't sold anyone that we didn't want to sell. So Theo, for example, PSG wanted him, and we were like, you can go do one. So that's good. So I think overall we do get a pass for that, but there are question marks about how trequartista and offloading some players. So I think that's why right now, if it ended right now before we get Pellegrini in as well, I think I'd give it a 6.
Yeah. I think there's also been a few questions coming out of this about maybe our youth system. As you said, Pellegrini, and we spoke a little bit about it before we got on camera about the decision with possibly bringing Pellegrini in, but then letting Colombo go out, and where that leaves Maldini, Haga leaving, a few little things like that. I don't think any of them are too major structurally that they're going to cause problems later down the track. I don't think they're all kind of like backup players anyway. So yeah, I don't think it changes our direction too much.
No, no. I mean, yeah, just things that like the whole Colombo issue doesn't make any sense. For bringing in Pellegrini as
Yeah,
a third strike, you already had Colombo on the
yeah,
books, and he would have. I'm sure he would have been happy to learn from and develop from two of the best in the game in Ibra and Giroud. And it's
yeah,
the same idea. It's like a big physical, you know what I mean? It's the same profile, pretty much.
yeah,
So I get it. And you said that maybe Pellegrini because he was more of a teenage sensation, but Pellegrini is really injury prone, and
yeah,
everybody knows that. So I mean, I hope he's. First of all, I mean, it's not confirmed that he's signed for us yet, but it seems to be very close. So if he does end up signing for us, I hope he stays fit. I hope he has a good season. Of course, I hope he has a breakthrough season.
yeah.
But it just doesn't make sense when we've got these homegrown players. And the same idea with Pobega potentially being loaned out to Torino. Then why bring in Bakayoko to begin with if you already got this guy's covered? The point which you rightly mentioned a couple of podcasts ago was that we need cover when we've got Kessie and Benasser out for the African Cup of Nations, which makes sense. Plus or
Yeah.
minus any injuries. Makes sense. You need that cover. So you'll have Tonali, you'll have Krunic, you'll have Pobega and Bakayoko, because that period at the January, that period usually will have a lot of games, like a lot of Serie A, Coppa Italia. You'll have a lot of games, potentially some injuries with the weather as well and everything. So yeah, why bring in Bakayoko, pay all this money, and then loan out Pobega? It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
If that happens, obviously.
At the moment, it almost feels like Bakayoko is the one that's pushing it hardest. He's desperate to get back to the club. It doesn't seem like anyone else, any other party is. It seems like Maldini's kind of considering it loosely, but if it's cheap enough and works easy enough. But I think it's pretty low down onto the list of important things to get done. I was getting excited about seeing when Benasser and Kessie leave in Jan for those few games to see what would happen with Pobega, Tonali and Krunic, kind of making them lift up. Because, particularly Pobega and Tonali, I really see a lot of value in those two. And Krunic has had a pretty good off-season from what we've heard and seen. Yeah. Anyway, moving to predictions. The big one. I've been mulling over this for a long time, trying to work it out.
Get it out, mate.
Yeah, I think I've settled with, I don't think Inter's going to win. I think, as you said, that there's too much instability in that place. The owners look like they've walked out of the joint. It looks like there's spot fires everywhere. So I don't think they're in a position to win the league. Unfortunately, I think that means Juve will win the league. Locatelli, I think, was an excellent purchase for them. It makes sense. So unfortunately, I think they're favourites for me at the moment. I think we're second favourites. So I'll predict we'll come second. I think it really depends who we sign up in these last few days, but I think we're at the moment, I'd say second still. And then 3 and 4, I think still Inter third, and then I'm going to say Lazio with Sarri coming in. I think Roma is the one that's tricky because I like what they're doing at the moment. So I think they'll fight off the fourth, but at the moment that's my top 4.
Okay.
What about for you?
Pretty decent. I agree with you. Obviously, we both agree on the Inter being a bit unstable. So yeah, definitely not Scudetto. I think right now, as we speak, Juventus are favourites. That being said, I'm going to put my blind faith in Maldini to sign us a trequartista. Once we do have that depth in the squad of the trequartista, I think we can actually pick them to the title.
Yeah.
And I'm banking on some small issues that probably you won't hear in the media, the Tutto Sport and all the pro-Juve media in general. But I think there will be a little bit of friction between the old guard and Allegri. You know how Bonucci was like, I want to be captain, and Allegri was like, yeah, the minute he left, blah, 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 he lost his role, his place in the pecking order. I think there are some fissures in that squad, and Ronaldo not being 100% about wanting to stay, and then everybody, every 2 days, somebody from the Juve management comes up and says, nah, he's staying. I think there is some unrest simmering beneath the surface there. That being said, hands down, if Serie A would start today and the Mercato were to close today, they'd have the strongest squad.
Yeah.
And Locatelli, didn't help our cause. And just sidebar, I'm sorry if I'm going on a tangent here, but Locatelli, I remember, I'm old enough to remember when Locatelli was all about, I was been a Milanista since I was a kid, and
It's
then
a funny one,
he
isn't it?
goes and says, yeah, the minute he goes and signs for them, he's like, oh, this has been my childhood dream, and he starts singing, unbelievable. I mean, honestly, man, just say you're a professional, and this is what we said with Donnarumma last season, but please don't take us for fools, please.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what I mean? It's, yeah. Anyways, sorry,
It's a funny one though to say that
yeah,
that Juve's your club of your childhood dreams when you were in the Milan academy for so many years.
exactly. And he was all over our he was all over our timelines a few years ago. Oh, Milan,
Yeah.
and, yeah. And bloody hell, mate. These guys, they take us. They're either. I'm not talking about Locatelli himself, but generally speaking, these footballers that do this are either really like disturbed themselves. They've got some issues. Or they just take us for idiots, and I don't know which is worse to us. But anyways, just man up. Say, yeah, I'm a professional. This is the best place for me. Probably rightfully so. Best squad in Italy right now. That's fine. We'll accept that. But to go wax lyrical about Juventus and how this has been my lifelong dream and stuff. Come on, give me a break. Anyway, sorry. So on paper, strongest squad right now. I've got faith in Maldini to bring in a good trequartista, and I think we will be able to pip them to the title based on that. Might come back to eat my words in May, or maybe you might be crowning me prediction king. We'll see. So I'm going to say we're just about going to pip them to the title, and then Juventus second. Obviously, I think it'll be between the two of us. And then Sarri with Lazio looks good. Mourinho with Roma. Mourinho is always a second season guy. I mean, first season, he always has, we've seen this play out over so many cycles now. So first season, unless he has like a squad of superstars like he did at Chelsea, or his first season at Inter when Inter had the best players in the league by a country mile, he'll do well, but not as well as the second season. So I think Mourinho's Roma might break into the top four. I'm not sure. I think it'll be very, very heated for that fourth spot between Lazio, Roma, and Napoli. We'll see. It depends on Napoli as well. If they end up selling Insigne, I think they don't have a prayer, but we'll see. So that's my 2 cents. I think it'll be Milan, Juve. Let's go Inter, Lazio, then Roma, and Napoli.
Okay. Yeah. I'd have to agree with the 5th and 6th as well. So the Atalanta is the one that's causing me a little bit of.
Oh yeah, we haven't even mentioned them, have we?
No,
they're the wild card. I don't know. I'm not sure.
Did you read the reports about Gasparini and that big argument that he had?
Which one?
About how with who?
Which one? Sorry, no, sorry.
With, who was it at the start of the year? Not Ilicic. It slipped my mind. But remember he had the big argument with the.
He had a big argument with Papu Gomez before he left.
Papu Gomez, sorry.
Yeah, I read that.
And Gomez came out and said that he got physical in the changing room.
I read that.
The owners of Atalanta are scared of Gasparini, and all this stuff has come out. You never know who to believe or what to believe, but
exactly. I don't know. I'm not sure they'll get Champions League.
I would have almost said Sassuolo would have been in my top, maybe not my top 4, but 5 or 6. But losing Locatelli probably flips them out.
And talk about Berardi as well.
Another player that could be coming to us. I should say though, with my prediction, that it is dependent on if we do sign a good few players in these last few days, then it could change how I see things. But at the moment, I don't think we have a squad that could win the title. Definitely challenging, but I think we still need another signing or 2. Otherwise, moving on, the third shirt. What do we think? We've got the shirt, the expert of Milan shirts here with us. You, Shady.
No, far from an expert, mate, but yeah. Well, it makes me pine for the old days of good old Adidas. But look, I think it with a lot. I've seen a few people on like Twitter have already got it with the red numbers at the back. It looks okay.
Okay.
But it looks like a training shirt, doesn't it?
Yeah, it
All of
does.
these Puma third ones, they all look like training shirts. And
Yeah.
I would have liked ours to have just been Milan instead of AC.
Yeah.
I know for the neutral, AC Milan makes more sense, but
Yep.
I mean, anyone who knows they're like Italian football, I guess. So I guess this one's more appealing to the neutral, to the casual fans. I think we might end up getting. I'm definitely going to get this season. I'm definitely going to get the away. I'm still undecided on the home and the third.
Yeah.
So we'll see. But yeah, I mean, look, it just makes you miss because as well, Adidas got their act together for this season. Pretty much all their shirts are pretty neat. I mean, the last season they were awful. They were just like they weren't even trying. But this season they've had some really neat shirts, like the United away, United home, United away, the Arsenal away, the Real Madrid shirts this season are just really good. They're really in tune with the club's colors. I mean, last year it was Real Madrid's pink, white and pink, and everybody was like, "What the hell is this?" It's got nothing to do. It's not like Palermo where the club is associated with pink, or even Juventus away. It's been associated with pink. Real Madrid don't really have any relationship with the color pink, so it was just really weird to force that. But this season they've got some really neat trims.
Yeah, one kit that I kind of had a bit of a chuckle at that is Adidas is that Juventus third kit that looks like a beach volleyball.
Beach volleyball, yeah.
Beach volleyball kit. But otherwise, I agree with what you said. Yeah, it's kind of hard to look at the Puma cookie cutter. Did you see that photo with all of the Puma kits all lined up and they're all the exact same?
Exactly. It's just like copy paste. You just insert club badge. It's like a template. Basically, it's like a template, a macros template. And when you say insert club badge here and then club name here, and it's the same thing. So zero creativity. What I don't understand is how do these guys have professional designers, people who like work 9 to 5 thinking about these things, you know what I mean? And I mean, surely what are they doing during their days? They should be planning this for months, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm sure they do actually. So what have they been doing in these meetings? They're like, so what are we gonna do for next season? Let's just throw a full black or a full whatever shirt with the name.
Yeah, they take us for fools.
caps lock name in the middle, and just stick the badge anywhere. You don't need it.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. It's lazy.
One team I've got to say I've really liked what they've done, and full credit to them because they're new to the league, is Venezia. Have you seen their kit? Their Kappa. I mean, Kappa always do pretty good kits for me. I think. Their kit is fantastic. I think it's I always kind of expect the new Serie A teams to sometimes they don't have the best kits. They're still sorting their thing out a little bit. Do you remember the Spezia kit? Was it last year with the plate and the knife and fork? It was a sponsor, to be fair, but it just looks shocking. Anyway, bit of a sidetrack there, but
Kappa are good. Kappa because Kappa are uninhibited, I guess, because they're relatively a smaller apparel brand, so they don't have to make. It's not like Adidas and Nike have to have this like some kind of design or some sort of template, and then they can have variations of it. I guess Kappa because they're like they can do whatever they want. I mean, Napoli is fatigue, like military fatigue away. Kappa was that Macron? I don't remember.
I think it was Kappa.
I think it was Kappa, right? Yeah. So that I mean, they were just to hell with whatever. So no, I agree with you. The Venezia kit looks good.
For me, it's my favorite so far. Moving on, finally, with what was it? It pretty much 24 hours. Within 24 hours of the first game, probably only a few hours before the first game, actually. Finally, in Australia, we have a TV broadcasting rights deal.
Bloody hell. Yeah, in the 11th hour, right? Being in the 11th hour.
Insane. It's crazy.
So many people have been lobbying. I mean, Milan Godfather, Tony, based in Sydney, I've been seeing him on Twitter for weeks now. We've had our very own Loris in our committee, Loris Maranzan from our Milan Club Melbourne committee. He's been asking and inquiring about it for a while now. We've got a lot of people who've been, and it's just insane that, again, you've got this diamond in the rough in terms of like product, in terms of the product, which is Serie A. You've got millions of fans who love the product, and And yet I mean, you can't have some kind of streamlined system to give away the rights for a few years so people know in advance, and so even those networks can start to market it, and I mean, it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any
madness
sense.
because you watch Australian TV and you'll see like Optus Sport having ads that they have the Premier League. Never once will you ever see anything about the Serie A at all, because we don't even know before our games are about to start who has the broadcasting rights. And now we've all got to scramble to subscribe and all of that rubbish before our game that's coming up. So it's crazy.
It's ridiculous.
And then the whole thing about maybe Milan was signing that deal with YouTube, and it just seems like the club is scrambling just to get it to us. Oh, the league, sorry, not the club. And the whole thing about then making money off it is, I don't even know if that's I mean, obviously that's a thing that is taking time and they're negotiating it, but
but they don't have something long-term in plan. I mean, this should have been, these negotiations or whatever was happening behind the scenes should have happened months ago. As soon as the last season, before even this last season ended, these things are usually concluded like a year or two in advance, or I mean, a few months at least, at the very least in advance. And it's a shame because there are these, I mean, for example, here in Australia, we've got such a large Italian community in general. So if you were to market this right, you'd have a lot of people who would already be interested because of familial ties and because of their heritage, and they could get their mates interested. I mean, their mates who aren't of Italian heritage as well, interested when they start seeing this marketed on TV. People would love to see high quality football.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So
and the sad state of things is that now that's not happening. But what is also happening is that people that actually do have ties to clubs, that kind of next generation down, more my gen, and now more linked to leagues like the Premier League just because of accessibility, and what we see across the socials and everything, that we don't see much about the Italian league. So it's a big missed opportunity. But anyway, not dwelling on it for too long, the last thing we would that we don't want to neglect to miss out, I guess, is predictions for the Sampdoria game.
The Samp game coming up, I think we'll get 2-1 win.
Yeah, okay. I think, I agree. I think we'll hold a clean sheet, actually. I think, 2-0. And I think I'm really expecting Giroud to have a really good, strong start to the season. Kessie's out, is that right? Ibra's out.
I think so.
Two big outs. But I think, I'm really liking that the centre-back matching of Tomori and Kier. So, I think we'll hold a clean sheet and get 2 goals.
Okay, that's good.
Start the season off. I want to see a strong start. Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be good, definitely, to get off to a strong start. Let me ask you this: what are your predictions for the Champions League and Coppa Italia? We've done
that's one thing we missed. I think Coppa Italia will do well, and then we're going to bomb out, unfortunately. Maybe not bomb out, but I think we'll leave just because we'll be stretched a little bit with depth and all of that. We'll just have to play a younger squad or an inexperienced squad. Champions League is the interesting one. I really don't know. I think we do have a few leaders in the squad now that have experienced a big game, situations. I don't think, unfortunately, we're going to go too far. Will we make it out of the group stage? Maybe. I think that would be a successful campaign if we get out of the group stage and challenge through the next few stages for me. What about you?
I think Coppa Italia semi-final. We'll get knocked out in semi-final. And Champions League, I think round of 16. I think we'll make it out of the group. I don't know who we're going to...
Yeah.
I say this and then we get drawn again with, I don't know, with PSG, City, and I don't know, Barcelona.
It's actually, it's a bit negligent of us, actually. I'll take the blame for years being like, oh, Champions League, that's our goal. And then in our season preview, I guess, it takes us until the last few minutes to mention it. So lucky you said it, because I wasn't going to say it. Of course, the biggest thing. So
I think round of 16, and I hope I'm like pleasantly surprised when we go all the way and get that eighth title. Yeah,
that would be nice. Anyway, that's all I've got, Shady.
Yeah, sounds good. Imagine if Maldini dropped the ultimate surprise and got in Bernardo Silva last day of the Mercato.
It would be nice to see. Yeah, would that be your one signing? If you could pick one more player?
I think I'd pick him. I mean, out of all the names, yeah, he's proven. He's good work ethic.
All of them?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Isco's amazing, but he's not. Sorry?
Berardi?
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Berardi, the only thing Berardi would have is obviously the Italian experience.
Yeah.
Being Italian, obviously. But I mean, the know-how. But I think Bernardo Silva could bring something, could add another dimension to this team.
Yeah. Okay.
I think he could. Yeah, he'd stand out.
Yeah, I just want to see a one big signing. That's all I want to see, and I think it's coming. I can smell it.
Yeah. It doesn't have to be big, but it has to be like
a good signing.
I mean, but someone who adds value to the team, and I think this guy would. I think he's got something to prove as well because of the way they brought in Grealish and everything. It's almost like they're politely asking him to, there's the door. So I think he'd have something to prove both in Europe, in the Champions League, and in Serie A if he leads us to the title.
True. Well, anyway, until next week, Shady, Forza Milan, and let's see a few signings. That's what I always say.
Sounds good.
And let's say a win. Let's say a win.
Let's say a win. Let's say a win, a good signing, and Forza Milan as always. Cheers, man.
As always. All right. See you next week.
It's a